Martin Jabbar Ali.
What's going on, bro?
Welcome back to VCTV. It's been a minute since I seen you, man. How you been doing?
Yeah, man. Just living life, bro. Coming out of COVID, so life is kind of getting back into a little bit of normalcy. But life has been good, man. I can't complain.
That's what's up, man. So you look good. The beard is flourishing.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a struggle.
It's good to see you, man.
Yes,
All right, man.
yes,
So
sir. Likewise.
the world been going crazy since we last met.
A lot going on, bro.
A lot
going on. Yes, I agree.
So let's get right into it.
Let's do it, bro.
The smack heard around the world.
Yes.
Will Smith, he got out of the seat. And he, went on stage and he lost himself.
Yeah.
Like Eminem said, he lost himself. So where were you at when you seen that video?
Bro, I was on Twitter.
Me too.
I was on Twitter. Wife was downstairs. I was upstairs. And she's like, Martin, hop on the Twitter right now and look at this video. And I'm just like, this is unreal. I thought it was fake.
Right.
A lot of the comments read, this is a parody. This is part of the show. And I'm just like, no, that looked too real. And come to find out, man, Will Smith actually slapped Chris Rock.
He slapped him.
Yeah.
So, your first thought was it was a parody. It was fake.
I did, for sure.
Okay. Then once you realized it was real, what came through your mind?
I said, black folks done messed up again. Like we don't really get invited to the Grammys, right?
Right.
They just start letting us come in and get nominated.
Uh-huh.
And two of our stellar actors who have like iconic careers, go off and have a behavior act like that. Now, on one aspect of it, I looked at it as Will Smith having a human reaction.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a butt of so many jokes from, what's my man name before with the wife?
August Alsina, right?
August, with the August situation.
Right.
With the Red Table Talks, with Jada just, overshadowing him, gaslighting him in a sense. And I think Will Smith had enough of it, bro.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate that it happened on a grand scale of the Grammys.
Mm-hmm.
But you saw a human being having a human reaction.
Now, was it a human reaction or was it he looked over at his wife, seen his wife was upset, and now, because like the different angles come out, and it shows him laughing first.
Yeah.
So,
that's one way of looking at it, but it was also a split-second decision.
Right.
Nobody knew that joke was coming. Once we figured out that it was real, once we figured out that it was a real slap, Jada had a real moment as well. Mm-hmm. She looked at Will as a protector, as a provider, as a husband, as any female should do when her husband is right there next to her, and she feels disrespected.
Right.
So we saw the look how she gave him, and that kind of, in a sense, put a battery in Will back, and he reacted, bro. But then again, I think it was a build up moment, bro. I don't know how I feel about it, me being a husband, but I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have reacted that way.
Okay.
Do
you think he was out of pocket?
For sure.
Like he was wrong. You think he was wrong?
It's okay. Two ends of the spectrum. I understand Will Smith's aspect of him being a provider and a protector, right? But then I also think that you're old enough to know like how to take a joke. Okay. You know that Chris Rock is a jokester, right? He's banging on a whole entire crowd. The joke wasn't even that bad.
It's history between Chris Rock and the Smiths, though.
That is.
When they was boycotting, the Oscars so white. Chris Rock was like, Jada's not invited anyway.
True.
That's strike one.
It's true. And she has curved Chris Rock in the past, so we have seen that as well.
What you mean curved? What you mean?
I've seen a past video to where Chris Rock like threw a jab at her, like trying to get at her, and she was just like, "Dude, you're not my type."
Oh, really?
So yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, do the research, do the history on that.
Okay.
That was a key point as well when I started to formulate my opinion about the situation. Mm-hmm. But again, it's me being a male, as being a husband, as being a father, understanding the entertainment business. It was a way of going about it. Even after Will Smith collected himself afterwards and he apologized.
Right.
He left Chris Rock out of it, bro.
Right.
And so I think that was bad taste. That wasn't, You know, the first apology you should have gave us should have been to Chris Rock. In the hood, bro, I seen Charleston White. You know, that dude's hilarious to me, bro. He was like, in the hood, when you want to ultimately disrespect somebody, you smack them.
Yeah, disrespect.
You smack them.
Yeah.
You know, he could have punched Chris Rock. He could have just left it at him at the verbal part of it. But to actually smack somebody, bro, in the black culture,
disrespect
in front of all these white people,
right?
Not to make it a race thing, but to make it a race thing in a sense,
right?
You smacked that man on national TV.
It was a clean smack though,
and that was and you know, Chris Rock responded how he's supposed to. You know, he took it.
I was gonna ask you. So, like, how do you feel about the way that Chris Rock responded to it?
I love that, man.
On stage and how he's conducting himself now.
I loved it, man. From a standpoint, with him being a comedian, he could have made a whole, set about that situation.
Right.
He chose not to. We seen Tony Rock, his brother, kind of go at it a little bit. But it was still fresh in the media at that point.
Right.
Now that it has simmered down, Chris Rock had a moment to reflect and have a collective thought. But his initial reaction, when somebody smack you, what do? You want to hit them back.
You want to fight.
You want to swing back.
Well, some people's reaction is just total freeze.
That's true.
It's like a mechanism.
You're
shocked. You're shocked. You don't know what to do, especially in front of hundreds of people. You know,
appalled, bro.
You got a tux on.
I respected Chris Rock. Composure, bro.
Okay.
His respect to the stage.
Right.
His respect to Will Smith, as it wasn't announced to him. He gave it back to him, and that's the ultimate poise that I don't think I could have controlled myself.
Right.
Classy guy. Definitely a classy move, bro. Classy move. Even after the fact, with him being a comedian, he could have done like I said before, a long set about it. He already on tour. I think he had a show 2 days after the Grammys in Boston.
Yeah.
Didn't speak on it.
He's going to get a bag to speak about it, though.
Yeah, I believe so.
It's so interesting, right?
Yeah.
Like, how that moment happened, and Chris Rock is being praised. His tour sales is going up.
Yeah.
He's more popular now than he has been in a while. And Will Smith is losing everything. He lost the opportunities, the
movies. He
like Bright, the sequel on Netflix, that's getting pulled. Bad Boys 4 is on pause.
Bad Boys 4,
or is it 5? 5 is on pause.
What's the other movie that he did? I Am Legend.
I Am Legend 2
got nixed. He was in the middle of negotiating a documentary.
Right. It's like a trickle down.
Yeah, man. That's what happens.
He's getting professionally canceled.
And not that he
really put on time
money, but it's just like, what do you want your legacy to be?
Right.
To do it on, and remind you, bro, I was just in LA when they were setting up for the Grammys. Like, I was in Hollywood Boulevard at the Roosevelt Hotel.
Yep.
For the Smoking Grooves Festival for a whole weekend straight, and I watched as the locals set up for the Grammys. Never did I thought or think that would happen on that grand stage, bro.
Right.
So, wow.
Yeah, man. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Like, we shall see how the story unfolds.
We shall. We shall. We say in talking points that time heals all wounds.
Yep.
And I do believe sincerely that Will Smith has a moment in time to make amends.
Right.
As an adult, as an entertainer, as being in Hollywood.
For sure.
To come to Chris Rock as a man, we may not see it as the fan base, as celebrities or the audience, but I think if it hasn't already happened, that it should happen.
I think it will.
Yeah.
I think it will.
Yeah.
I always take the time to throw a Drake bar in there.
Do you?
Time heals all. Time heals all, but heels hurt to walk in.
That's true, bro.
That's true.
True.
Time heals all, but in that time, it's gonna hurt.
And you gotta sleep in the bed you make too, bro.
Hey, man.
God bless. Unfortunate, but it's just like you're a celebrity, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be all right.
At the end of the day, yeah.
He'll be all right.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle.
He
was on stage, and some man had the audacity to run on stage and tackle the legend, Dave Chappelle. And he paid a hefty price.
That man did, bro.
You see that video?
I watched it.
Okay.
I thought that was fake.
Right.
But it looked too real, and I was just like, bro.
Yeah.
But Dave Chappelle's initial reaction was like, I'm going to kill this mother, right?
Right.
Again.
You seen his arm?
He had a human emotion, bro. A human reaction.
Yeah.
I thought of it as a residual from the Will Smith situation.
Think so?
So this is my first outlook. You know, in context on how I see things, right? My first thought was like, with Chris Rock being a comedian, with him being known for blasting celebrities on any social media network that he's on, he do roast sessions. Roast sessions.
Right.
For Will Smith to open up that floodgate to make it feel as if it's okay to attack that art form. Mm-hmm. Now, I seen Mike Epps speak on this and Michael Blackston, and they were just like, bro, that's what we do. And I dare a fan to come and attack me on set.
Right.
It's going to be a bad day for you.
It's a bad day. It was a bad day for that,
right?
For that dude.
So, this is the, now, you didn't really see Will. I don't think Dave hit him though. I saw Dave go back there to the crowd. He's like, I want to see it.
Yeah.
And in mid show, and he like walked to the back to where they were stumping this dude out at, and he had a real moment where he watched it. He could have stumped the dude. He could have kicked him. He didn't.
Right.
He came back on stage and he finished the set.
Professional
once again. But I like to say that I don't think Will Smith opened up a floodgate, but he kind of gave the audience and other fans the chance to, because you know how nowadays a lot of subject matters for comedians are off target. I mean, off topic. Like they're no-go topics these days.
Right.
The LGBT community, you know, transsexuals.
Yeah.
Anything that relates to the gay community is you're walking on a thin line.
Right.
You know. And I like to say that censorship is coming, whether we like it or not.
Right.
You know,
it's here.
It is here.
It's here.
And unfortunately, the way you behave in this cancel culture, culture that we living in, you walking on eggshells in an art form that's supposed to be free of expression.
Right.
You know, so I think Dave Chappelle took the right route. I think that man deserved that beat down though.
Yeah.
And hopefully this is a lesson for everybody else that want to go out there and attack a comic on stage.
Right.
It ain't gonna be a good day for you.
It's not gonna be funny.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be funny.
So
yeah, man. Well, like that guy, his arm is dislodged. No charges were pressed.
Yeah.
I think the ass whooping was enough.
I think so too.
I think enough.
so too.
Yeah,
For sure.
Antonio Brown is making his rounds in the media. You know, it seems like he's no longer focused, solely on football. I think he sees, like where the money is at. Entertainment, talking. Yeah. And he was on. I should have the podcast name, but he was on a podcast, and he made some comments about Kaepernick.
Interesting, bro.
He said dude was trash, and he said Kaepernick's not in the hood. He took the money.
Yeah.
He took the money. Like, he ain't with us no more. What's your thoughts on that?
All right, so let's back up for a moment, right? We all know what Antonio Brown been doing in the sports arena, how he walked off the field. But then as soon as he walked off the field, he's been, malingering, hanging out with A+ celebrities, Kanye West.
Right.
For one, right? He's like involved with the Yeezy platform in a sense, right? We all know Kanye has said a whole lot of things. Slavery was a choice, and that freedom of speech is what I love. Now, let's merge it together. Antonio Brown hanging out with Kanye, and he's saying things about Kaepernick. What he said about Kaepernick wasn't a lie, and I kind of agree with him in a sense, right? Not to say that it's always about money. Or that it's censorship. Once again, we're talking about censorship and the council culture. We all know Kaepernick, jeopardized his whole entire career.
Right.
A lot of kids grew up wanting to be an NFL player. And to be a black quarterback in the NFL, and to be a starting quarterback, and to take a knee and to jeopardize everything that you've done for this game. That's one thing I respect about Kaepernick. But then after the fact, the malingering, what is the after effect of it? Or are you going to keep that same energy? He hasn't, bro. He hasn't. We've seen the documentary, the movie on Netflix. We've seen the commercials. We've seen the somewhat activism.
Right.
But we all know that the Black Lives Matter, entourage or play on words and their 15 minutes of fame has now been called out. Where is the funding going? And so in the threshold, Antonio Brown is speaking to all of that. He's just like, bro, like, I'm from the trenches. I grew up in the hood. I grew up in marginalized communities. Right. I know what it's like to have, poor schools. I know what it's like to have single childhoods, mothers trying to raise kids. Mm-hmm. I've been there, the food stamps. And so, like, what are you doing in regards to that? We've seen the giveaways, we've seen the backpack drives, we've seen the food drives, but don't even go so far.
Playing devil's advocate.
Yes.
What more do you not you specifically, but what more does the people want from Cap?
I don't know, man. I think a lot of fans like them as a fan, and they wanted to see him back in the NFL for one aspect of it. But then the activism part of it, that's the part that I really like. I was never a big Cap fan. Cap kind of became on my radar when he took the knee.
Okay.
Not saying he wasn't a good quarterback. For sure he was a good quarterback. Yeah. Right? But I think people want to see you, be if you want to sit for Black Lives Matter and have this approach, right, and you want to be like Mark Lamont Hill, then be Mark Lamont Hill.
Carry the torch.
You know what I'm saying? Carry the torch.
I got you.
But I think it's a marathon. It's not a race.
Definitely.
Black lives, black plight, black challenges ain't going nowhere.
Nope.
It's not going nowhere. So is that to say this is the end of Cap? I don't think so. I think if we had a next black brutality where a cop kills a black kid, a white cop kills a black kid, do I think Cap will be there? For sure. Definitely. And I think it's great to have celebrities come out and show that. LeBron always does it.
Right.
But the NFL, I'm gonna keep saying this word, has kind of censored the players from being able to do that. Unlike the NBA where they have a freedom of speech.
Right.
But I think Antonio Brown wasn't out of pocket with that opinion, and I kind of agree with it. I kind of see where it's coming from, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to
let's do it.
Hip hop.
Yeah.
Rap. Mm-hmm. Just a couple days ago, rapper.
Yeah.
Young Thug, rapper and label owner, Young Thug, along with a lot of his crew in YSL, also Gunna.
Yeah.
Have been arrested and charged with a lot of different charges. Man. And they are involved in a RICO case.
Yes.
So, one, have you read on it?
Yeah,
have you heard
man.
about it? Have you heard about it?
Yes.
So, what's your initial take on it?
So, from a music standpoint, I don't listen to none of Young Thug music. Right? That's besides the point, though. I think it's unfair. I seen Metro Boomin make a tweet, and he was just like, YSL is not a gang. The number one headline was like, the gang YSL is involved in racketeering, involved in murder, all these criminal activities from, a buildup of cases over years of evidence. Mm-hmm. It made me think like, wow, if they have the evidence, they got to prove it. They got to prove it, right?
What's your opinion on using rap lyrics in the courtroom to aid and help in the indictment of rappers?
It's a faulty line for me, bro. Because I feel like a lot of us rap is speaking about what you go through, what you've been through, where you come from. Mm-hmm. It's experiences put into words, and it's a wordplay on music. And so the realness of hip hop is those true stories.
Right.
But when you're speaking about somebody who has committed a crime against somebody, a murder, and they connect the dots with actual evidence, I don't refute that. That's the federal and state officials doing their job.
Right.
But it makes it a scary place for artists.
For sure. Because rap and music is supposed to be entertainment.
So the entertainment part of it, yes, for sure. It's it's becoming a theme and a trend. Because it's not just Young Thug who's been locked up. You got YM Melly, right?
Right.
You got Pooh Shiesty. And a plethora of other rappers who are in jail right now in this present moment from lyrics that they have been used as like collateral damage.
Right.
You know. But to label them as a RICO case and the name Young Thug as the leading leader of YSL and the word semantics on the wordplay as them not being a business entity to labeling them as a gang, I think it's unfair. You know, I don't think the case is going to hold that much weight. I think it's still new. I think once it goes to trial, if it goes to trial, I see Young Thug probably getting probation. We'll see.
I think a lot of them guys are gonna do jail time.
Oh yeah.
I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I want to read you his Metro Boomin tweet.
Probably the one I saw. Yeah.
He said, "Using song lyrics to indict niggas is lame and a joke. These are the same lyrics that have made billions for these corporations over the past decade. I'm awaiting now to see who gonna step up and use those same resources now that the coin has turned."
It's interesting, bro. It's interesting.
What's your take on that? Because I feel him.
So Metro Boomin, he's making a great point, right? These labels they sell
millions.
trauma. They sell trauma. Okay. If your song is about killing another black male, they're all for it.
It's gonna go.
They all for it.
Yeah.
So they're selling trauma. And music is so influential. You know, even from the cars we drive, from a Hellcat to a Scat Pack to a Track Hawk. The music to having a child boy, what kind of gun you get, how you dress, everything is based off the entertainment business, right? And these a lot of these rappers are giving us the blueprint and the recipe for that.
Right.
A lot of these kids don't know no better, so they feed into it. And a lot of the rap don't even be real. Excuse me for a second. It's an interesting concept because a lot of it is wordplay and it just sound good.
Right.
It's just words of abuse of a music. So many lyrics talk about killing people, and I don't think not one rapper has ever, it's studio gangsters as they say, right?
Right.
We can take that back to NWA and to the Chronic and to Death Row. It just sound good on records, right? We have seen Corrupt, we have seen Dash, we have seen Snoop, and Tupac say all kind of music words about killing somebody on wax, right?
Right.
But it wasn't real. So I'm interested to see how can they filter out what is real and what is fake, and what evidence do you have to figure out what is real and what is fake. And with that being said, it makes me realize like how much weight can those lyrics really hold in a court of law, right? How much of those lyrics is conjecture? It was just wordplay and music,
right? And
how much is actual facts of what happened in your hood? I don't see it as being substantial.
Right. My personal opinion, I don't think it should be used. I feel like rap. Music in general is entertainment. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
So you can't. R. Kelly said, "I believe I can fly."
Yeah.
He can't fly. He can't fly.
It's conjecture. Yeah, it sounds good.
It's hyperbole. It's exaggeration. It's a fantasy. You're selling something.
It's true.
So I think I think it shouldn't. I feel like if they got real evidence, timestamps, phone calls, recordings, then do that. Music with a beat behind it, that is entertainment.
I say only time will tell, man.
Only time
will tell.
But
I don't see it holding up in the court of law. It sounds good. It's smoke and mirrors right now.
Right.
I like to say it's smoke and mirrors.
Right.
But I think that this is an educational point for other rappers who are coming up who have lyrics as such. Hey, to watch your mouth, man.
Either watch your mouth or it'll make you not living it.
Real quick, right, before we move to the next question.
Yeah.
Bobby Smurda was. Did you see the freestyle with him on Funk Flex?
No, I didn't see it.
All right, so on Funk Flex, those freestyle ciphers, right? He let the artists just freestyle about whatever they want to freestyle about.
Right.
And we know Bobby Smurda just got out of jail within the last year for kind of the same situation that Young Thug going through right now. The exact situation.
Right.
So in the freestyle, he's talking about choppers. He's talking about killing somebody in front of his mama crib.
Yeah.
He's talking about like having guns.
No way.
And in the post in the comments, they're like, bro,
he ain't learn.
You telling on yourself again?
Yeah.
You know, but it's good energy, man. It was good music. Like you're just having fun with the words.
Right.
And so I think he lived that. And ain't no turning back. Yeah. And now I think it's just wordplay.
Right. Well, let's hope Young Thug has, Young Thug and the rest of YSL, and Gunna got some good lawyers.
I wish him the best, man.
I hope they beat it.
I wish him the best.
All right. Joe Biden. All right. So Joe Biden has talked a lot about student loan forgiveness, but hasn't done anything yet to actually forgive student loans. What do you think is the holdup, and what are your thoughts on the concept of student loan forgiveness as a whole?
First off, man, Joe Biden, he campaigned, right, and got a lot of votes based off him saying that simple sentence, I'm going to forgive student loans, right? Mm-hmm. When you say that during the pandemic to a lot of people who are hurting and living paycheck to paycheck, who don't know where the next meal is coming from, who's relying on the stimulus check, and you got people who have went through, 4-year degrees and can't find a job. You have people with degrees, bro, doing Uber and DoorDash.
You got people with degrees being managers at fast food restaurants.
The Sallie Mae interest rate on student loans is outrageous. So even if you did borrow $40,000, by the time you get done paying that student loan, you end up paying double the amount, sometimes triple that amount.
Right.
So is it feasible for somebody to pay that, maintain a home, and live the American dream? It's not. So when you have someone campaigning telling you that I'm going to have student loan forgiveness, within that first year, you want to see something shake. You want to see something change.
Definitely.
We've heard the promises. We want to see you put your mouth where your money is at.
Right.
He's
selling us a dream. Let's be honest. Joe Biden's selling us a dream. He's done stuff for the for the homosexuals.
He has.
For the Asians.
He has.
Ain't did nothing for the black share or the students.
He haven't.
What's going on, man?
4 years is a long time, right?
Right. And he spent the most time, in the election process pandering to us. So
half of that time has been already up. So this next year coming up is going to go back on the campaign trail to figure out what's going to happen in the next go around. So it's just like, how much are you going to emphasize to make that change before it's too late? Before it becomes all, as most devs say, malarkey, right?
Right.
Is it all malarkey? I try to have faith in people, I don't call somebody out to be a liar until they call themselves out to be a liar. Being a man of your word and have loyalty to the American people who have the right to vote for anybody they want to vote for. I like to say it's politics as usual, bro.
For sure.
Politics as usual. I think to get that black vote, like if you watch like the House of Cards, right, and you watch like the black delicacy or the black delegates, the black vote is huge. Every campaign, every 4 years, again, not to make it a pipe dream, but the black vote is one thing that these politicians bank on.
Yeah,
you right. So sometimes they tell us what we want to hear in order to get our vote.
Right.
I think he went and got Kamala. All right.
Oh yeah, a black woman.
And then she pledged like she was a Delta, right? But her background is totally, man. Oh my, we can go a whole another a podcast with that whole conjecture of it. But I'm not a believer, bro. And then they were saying, well, we're gonna do a first time run for all first line advisors, people who are working first line jobs, EMTs, nurses who have student loans are gonna get the first go around to get the forgiveness. We've seen the articles,
right?
We've seen the blogs, we've seen the campaign trails. Now it's time to actually do what you said you're going to do. We haven't seen it yet, bro. So
Yeah, man. Moneybag Joe need to go ahead and step it up, man.
Moneybag Joe, man.
Hey, look, give us another STEMI. We might forgive you.
That STEMI came in handy, bro. But people had to pay bills with that money, bro.
Yeah.
So
it was their money anyway.
How far can $1,200 go when you got kids and you got to pay bills and you got to put food on the table?
Not too far. Not too far,
bro. Man. Especially with inflation right now.
Right. Woo. Right. The world seems to be split on the topic of abortions. For some reason, all of a sudden, abortion become a hot topic on, whether it should be outlawed, whether it should be illegal, legal, who should have access to it.
Yeah.
What is a life? That whole conversation. What's your take on that as far as people in states trying to outlaw abortion?
All right. So I seen it where I think it's Georgia or Texas banned the Plan B pill.
Dang. Oh, no.
Right?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, this just happened. So this reminds me, like back in 8th grade, we had to do a paper in school, and I did mine on abortion, right? And I remember this little white girl when I stood up to do the topics in speech class, and I'm talking about abortion, and no, it was my freshman year, and maybe she had been raped and had an abortion, or she knew a sister that had been raped and had an abortion, and the moment I brought up the topic, it was a trigger for her, and she like ran out of the classroom.
Right.
15 years plus ago, bro. I don't think this is anything new under the sun, but I think abortion should be a right, And there's certain situations to where I feel that way about it. To save lives.
So you're for abortion?
I am.
We're for the option.
All right, so yeah, a woman should have the right to do what she want to do with her body, regardless, right?
Right.
There should be no state policy, no federal policy, no legislation to where it says you cannot have the right to do what you want to do with your body, right? We live in America, land of the free.
Right.
Right. So once again, how far does that go? How far does that go to where if this woman is raped, there's always a what if moment.
Right.
So let's use one. Yeah. A what if moment. What if that female got, date rape, abused as a child, molested, and ended up getting pregnant. And she don't want to bear witness to that baby coming into the world based off the situation on how she got pregnant if it wasn't consensual.
Right.
We're taking that right away from the woman. Right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair. And just to circle back, to take away the Plan B pill?
That's wild.
Come on, bro.
That's wild.
Come on, bro. And
that's like the second chance pill.
It is.
People make mistakes.
They make mistakes all the time.
Things happen, It's a form of prevention,
Yeah.
Before it happens.
It is.
That's wild.
And this is those moments to where we can have that if it was non-consensual sex and they ended up pregnant, or if they don't even know if they're pregnant or not.
Right.
That Plan B pill is it gives them an option. It gives them a choice.
Right.
We're taking away that choice. We're taking away rights.
Let me throw a theory at you.
Yeah.
So there's a theory, a conspiracy even, that the government has been so heavily involved in the decision making of abortion, whether it's be illegal, legal, trying to outlaw, because they're seeing that the world is becoming a melting pot. The Caucasian race is slowly evaporating in front of our eyes.
It's like by 2050, it won't be no more Caucasian race.
You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to preserve themselves by stopping this abortion thing because they want more white babies to be made.
Well, it's interesting, bro.
Do you give any credence to that? Conspiracy, that theory?
I do see that. That's been scientific proof with the way the world is going right now with so many races and the Latino race becoming, the majority,
right?
And the Caucasian race becoming the minority. I think it's scary. I think not to make it a race thing, but a lot of our lives and the way we look at life as a black male, as a black person, it boils down to being a race topic. And so when I seen that by 2050, the Caucasian race will possibly be a minority, This is a way to make women sterile. And it goes to abortion and the medication and the food we eat.
Right.
You know, sometimes the water we drink has molecules and you know, things within the medication that can make a woman sterile, you know.
Right.
And a lot of it is pushed to the minority race, to our neighborhoods, to our grocery stores.
Right.
It's unfortunate, but I think it's by design with everything else that goes on. You know, with the minority race and marginalized people. So the abortion part is just another piece of the plot.
Okay. Joe Biden has recently asked Congress for an additional $33 billion to help aid Ukraine in the Russian war, you know. Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts on that?
Bro, they're pimping the American dollar. All right, what are we going through right now? We're on the verge of having another recession right now. We really are. You can't just keep printing off money and expecting the American dollar to hold any value. It's just not going to happen. Is it reasonable? Okay, let's take it from a humanitarian standpoint. Do I understand what's going on with Ukraine? Do I feel bad for them with the war and them having displacement? Of course I do. But do we have that in America? Of course we do. Is the American people, you know, being recognized? We're not.
See, my question, right.
We're not.
I see what you're saying, exactly. My question is always, if we can just pull $33 billion out the sky and give it to Ukraine.
Well, we already gave them billions already.
Right. I think we gave them like 4 or something like that. But it's like, if we got that to give to another country for their problems, you know, we got homeless people, we got veterans.
We got gentrification.
We got, like if we got 33 billion to just give, why is there still so many ghettos? Unemployment so high, like
job shortages.
Like let's put this money back into us.
You know, I think this money could have been recycled to every state.
Yeah.
You could have gave this to every governor to figure out how can you fix your state. And then when you you brought up great points, right? Homelessness, right? Gentrification, job shortages,
right?
Printing off the money. What does it do to the American dollar in the first point, right? It diminishes the value.
Of it, right?
Right, and it makes us weak. Now we're talking about war with Russia and Ukraine. Russia ain't scared of us. China ain't scared of us. North Korea ain't scared of us. America, we're in a vulnerable state right now. You know, we're real feeble in a sense. The NATO aspect of it, I see what we have to play. We have to play good with NATO, right? So we wrapped up in it.
Right.
So that's politics as usual. But that amount of money, bro, you could have gave half of that money to the Ukrainians.
Yeah.
Which I don't agree with at all. I'm trying to rationalize them and think logical to a certain aspect of it.
Right.
But I can't rationalize giving $33 million away when you got people right now who are living in displacement. You got people who are struggling to get a meal. We're still living in a pandemic.
Right.
Which they're really denouncing. We're still living in a pandemic.
Talk to me real quick.
Yeah.
So when we give money to other countries, this is a genuine question. So when we give money to other countries, are we literally giving them money?
So we supposed to know where it's going.
No, I'm saying, like, are we literally giving them stacks of hundreds? Like, are we literally doing that?
The Federal Reserve, that's how it goes.
So if Ukraine receives this money, they just go spend that money.
We can't tell them how to spend it. You know, so if we can't give you the money and then tell you how to spend the money, right? So that's a great point. So who's to say how much to give to them? Like, how do you know how much to give to them to rebuild their country or to rebuild their people? Like, when you calculate $33 billion, how are you factoring this off? Like, how you calculating this money? You know, are you saying, all right, out of the 33 trillion or $1 billion, we're going to spend $1 million on building new homes. We're going to spend, $1 million on infrastructure. We're going to spend $1 million on rebuilding the economy.
Right.
How do you rationalize $33 billion?
Have you thought about like when they're coming up with these astronomical numbers?
Yeah. It's very astronomical for sure.
Where does that money even come from?
Federal Reserve is printing off more money.
But I'm saying, like, what gives them the ability to just print this money and it be worth whatever it is worth? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when does the money run out?
I don't know, man. So that's the scary part about it, because when you look at the stock market right now, we're in the red.
It's in shambles right now.
From the stock market to cryptocurrency to the economy to the housing market, interest rates rising back up. The housing market is crazy right now. People can't even find a place to live it because the cost of living is so expensive right now.
Right.
And so when you think about it like that, in that aspect, when everything is going up on prices, but the job you work in ain't giving no promotion, ain't giving no pay raises, how do you find an equal playing ground?
Right.
So it's a bigger question than I think than what we were just asking. It's unfortunate. I don't think anybody has the answers. But we live in a capitalistic society. Right, we don't think logically, and I think as we talk about politics, this is what Bernie Sanders said will come. This is what Bernie Sanders was talking about when he campaigned. Like, I want to make healthcare, universal.
Right.
People laughed at that. I want to give jobs to people. People laughed at that. But it was doable. If you could print off $33 billion to give away. Yeah. Do you think Bernie couldn't have got that money and really done something substantial with it to help the American people?
Right.
And not make it a race thing, but to make it, equal for all, to have some equality within the country? We don't have that right now.
Solid point.
We don't have that.
Okay. All right. So it is now May 12th. Mm-hmm. That means April just passed, which means Ramadan has just passed.
Yes.
I am not a Muslim, but I'm interested in the culture. So I want you to explain to us the 5 W's of Ramadan.
Okay.
In simplest terms, to somebody who has never heard of Ramadan, but is just interested in it.
So Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, and it's a month that's celebrated by fasting, right? So you fast from sun up to sundown. So for example, here in Hawaii, the fast will start from sun up, which was around right at 5 in the morning, and you eat and drink before that 5 o'clock in the morning threshold, and you fast from no food or drink all the way until sundown, which lasts about right at 7 o'clock, right? So the premise of it is just fasting, right? But people start to think about fasting as if like it's only a month to cleanse yourself from like the food and drink, but it's a lot more than that. So the month of Ramadan is a holy month in the Islamic faith because we look at the 9th month of the calendar, which is Ramadan, as when the Holy Quran was revealed to Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad was the messenger for the Islamic faith. All right. So in Islam, we believe in all the prophets, from the Torah, from the gospel, all the way up to Prophet Muhammad. So that means we believe in Aaron, we believe in Paul, we believe in Moses, we believe in Jesus. Actually, we believe in all the prophets. We just feel as if Prophet Muhammad was the last prophet to come. Not to say that he's the seal of all the prophets, that somebody can't come after him and claim to be a prophet, but he's the last prophet. He's the messenger of Islam. And so we think as the month of Ramadan was when the Quran was revealed to Prophet Muhammad. And so because of that, it's a holy month. And not only that, or you fasting for 29 to 30 days, is that it's a month of fasting from any shortcomings. Not just food and drink for the whole entire month, but it's a month where you set goals for yourself. If you have any kind of shortcomings to where you may watch too much TV. You may use lewd language. You may have, a nasty attitude with people at work. This is your month to look at like internally and see, what do I want to improve on? What can I better about myself? Besides the physical elements of it, how can I make myself better? A lot of things about the Islamic faith is used as commonalities these days. They say it takes 21 days to break a habit. The month of Ramadan is 30 days. So if you can figure out what your shortcomings are, if you can figure out how to better yourself, how to eat better, how to associate yourself with understanding the food and be grateful for the food you have, it's a month of mercy, right? And so within 30 days, by the end of that month, you should try to mimic what you've been doing for that entire month of forgiveness. And you should try to, keep it going, throughout the rest of your life, if you can. So we're striving to be better people.
Quick follow-ups.
Yeah.
Can you exercise during Ramadan?
You can. A lot of people do. They call it Ramadan fitness. Me personally, I prefer to do it right before sun went down, right? So around 6, I may get a good 45-minute workout in. And then I know right before 7 o'clock, I can break my fast with food and water and drink. And it's a great way to lose weight as well. So the fitness, the physical elements of it, and it's a healing process. It's a way to heal your body. Scientifically proven, a fast is the easiest way to cure diseases, to lose weight, to feel better about yourself. So there's so many ailments that come with just this month of mercy. And also for the Muslims, we look at the month of Ramadan as a holy month, where we say, this is when the devil was locked away, right? And this is the month where you ask for whatever you want to ask God for. So whatever you've been wishing for, this is your time to connect with your Lord, your Creator. Get back right spiritually. So that month just passed. We celebrated at the end of it by having the Eid, which is just the Arabic word for celebration or holiday. It's like the Islamic Christmas. Kids get gifts. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful month, man.
Okay. Question.
Yeah.
You can't eat before the sun comes up, and then you can't eat the whole day, and you have to eat when the sun goes down.
Yeah.
Is there a limit on how much you can eat during that time, or is that just up to your own self-discipline?
It's up to your own self-discipline, but the beautiful thing about Islam is that we deal with the majority of things. So you don't want to be a glutton of food.
Right.
A lot of times Prophet Muhammad would give charity. He would go around just giving away food. So you would notice, if you don't, social media is out here all day. You can look up a social media account for Muslims and you will see them giving away food during the month of Ramadan. So it's sacrifice. So to get back to your question, what was your question?
So, like, for example, if, let's say I'm a Muslim.
Yeah.
It's my first Ramadan.
Okay.
And I'm about to start.
Like gluttony. It's like eating a
pretty
lot of
much
food.
life. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hold out all day, but when 7 o'clock hit, boy, I'm going crazy.
So you don't want to.
You don't want to do that, right?
You don't, because that kind of takes away from the element of you.
It defeats the purpose.
Having appreciation for your food, right?
Right.
And so I think I said it before that Islam deals with the majority of things. You're not going to read in the Quran that you shouldn't drink or smoke, right? But we don't do it as Muslims, right? Because we look at the overall effect. Like, if I do drink, what can happen to me? I can become an alcoholic. You're right. I can drink and drive. I can kill somebody. So it may make you feel good. We're not denouncing that. We look at the majority of it. If you do this bad thing that can lead to something that can be, harmful to your body, we don't deal with it. We do away with it.
Okay.
Right? So we look at the majority and not the minority of it. We look at people say the macro of it and not the micro.
Okay.
So that's how we look at life. And so it's the same way with food. Why would you want to fast the whole day to eat a bunch of food? Yeah.
Right.
That defeats the purpose.
How often is Ramadan? Once a year?
Once a year. It's the 9th month of the lunar calendar of the Islamic month. So the lunar calendar goes off the moon cycle. So because of that, Ramadan is a different month every year. Yeah. So
okay. How is it being a soldier, and working, full time during the month of Ramadan?
Man, it's difficult.
PT in the morning, missions.
It's difficult. It's very difficult. It's a challenge. Which hence the reason why the chaplain would give you a memo to give to your chain of command in the military. I don't know about civilian jobs who has like physical demands. To spare that soldier if you can, to not have them do any kind of physical activity, throughout that whole month. Right. Because it can come down to being hurtful if you end up having this soldier out there without any food or water, performing physical activities, and other soldiers are out there, drinking in front of them and hydrating, and they can't.
Right.
It can become a medical issue.
Right.
So it's a challenge that I think the Army is starting to understand, and that chain of commands are starting to understand. But the minority race and religion within, I think, the armed forces is Islam. So because of that, a lot of leaders don't really understand what Ramadan is and why this soldier should be having time off.
Okay.
And so I would ask chains of command to, come to the mosque, go to a Muslim soldier, ask the imam. There's Muslim chaplains in the army who have high ranking who you can get a class from, or just simply ask the question, because if you don't know, you're ignorant to it.
Right.
And so how can you actually make an informed decision based off something that you're ignorant to? If that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. If you don't mind sharing, what are 3 positives that like this Ramadan cycle has brought to you?
Oh man. So a lot of times my son, he's 14, and we pray on Fridays. And so we pray on Friday afternoon. So a lot of time on Fridays he's at school. This month of Ramadan was interesting because he had a chance to come pray with me. Right? I had him out of school. He would come pray, come to the mosque with me. What's better than, and not only that, my wife. So the 3 of us as a family had a chance for the first time, had a chance to pray together inside the mosque during the month of Ramadan. That was beautiful for me. So I think it made my family more close knit. Right? That was one aspect of it. The second part, man, for me is just connecting with my Lord, bro. I set out a goal to where the month of Ramadan, I just wanted to give back and do interfaith. So a lot of times people don't understand that a lot of other faiths don't really understand what Ramadan is. So this month of Ramadan, we had a chance 3 times within the mosque here to have a Jewish event. We met up with a Pentecostal preacher, and what else do we do? And we had a Zoom meeting. So all interfaith religions came together to understand what Islam is about. And so a lot of times when we're the minority race, like the odd man out, it didn't feel that way this Ramadan. I felt more connected to other forms of religion this Ramadan than I have in the past because of the interfaith. And it was great dialogue. We found out that we had more commonalities than we did differences.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a blessing, man. That's a blessing.
It is.
That's a
It
blessing.
is.
It's a blessing. So last time I had you here, we spoke on your first published book.
Yes.
Self-published book, I would add.
Indeed.
The book was the last to finish, The Black Boy Experience of Overcoming Adversity.
Yes.
Great book. If you haven't read it, go out there and get it. It's on his website.
Shameless plug.
Go ahead, plug it. What's the website?
So I'm the founder of Last Call for Knowledge. I self-published a self-memoir last year called The Last to Finish. It is on my website, which is martinjali.com. When you buy this book, I'm the one that's receiving the order. I'm the one packaging the book up. I'm the one that's shipping it to you. So it was a great book, bro. And now working on my second book.
Yep. Hidden in Plain Sight.
Hidden in Plain Sight.
So talk to us about that.
I don't want to give too much away.
Not too much away, but
it's about these 2 black teens who are Muslims who are in high school, and they struggle with their identity.
Okay.
It's in modern day time, and they're living in St. Louis, and they're science geeks, right? And they love hip hop, and they're just trying to figure out this world we live in. And throughout the course of the book, you see me, merge in Islam with hip hop, with the today's culture, with history of the past, with the elders, and you watch these two kids navigate this life that they're kind of struggling with, because of their peers or off doing other things. Mm-hmm. And they're like firm on being Muslim. They're firm on being black, but they're still trying to figure out, now, how do I be accepted in as my identity?
Okay.
And their two best friends named Amir, and Sharif. And, I'm excited about the book. And it's written about growing up in the hood, and overcoming challenges once again. So I'm excited about the book, bro. I'm writing it right now, and looking forward to it being out either the fourth quarter of this year or early 2023. So
my man, I can't. Hey, I'm definitely gonna be tuned in. Learn a little something.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man.
I'm looking forward to it too. I'm looking on the cover right now, and in the background, you think you slick. I'm gonna read it. Masjid. There we go.
Yeah.
Mubarak.
Yeah.
Mubarak. What is that?
All right. So what I did with the cover of the book, hidden in plain sight, you see the two main characters, right? And they're like walking. Got a skateboard in their hand, like leaving school. But the backdrop is the St. Louis skyline. You see the arch and you see buildings.
Okay.
So important, right? So I took the Capitol building to where they done the Dred Scott case in St. Louis, to where, if you don't recall, Dred Scott was a slave who should have been freed.
He actually got his freedom.
After years, he had to fight for that.
He got his freedom, and then he got caught, and then they said they pretty much just captured him again.
So his slave owner he did some illegal. He had him in Missouri where slavery was legal, right? Mm-hmm. But then took him out of the state of Missouri and took him into a state to where, slavery wasn't free. I mean, wasn't legal.
Right.
And then brought him back. So once you took him out of the state line, he was a free man.
Right.
So he fought for that. But
he won, right?
He won.
Yeah.
So Masjid Mubarak, what is that Capitol building to where the Dred Scott case was actually done in Missouri.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you mean?
No, I mean like is that like the real name?
No. So
okay.
Masjid is the Arabic word for mosque, where we go pray at.
Okay, right? Okay.
And so I made it Mubarak, which is like the word of have a good day, celebration.
Okay.
So I turned the Capitol building to where they once had the Dred Scott case in the racist state of Missouri, and I made it a mosque. So as you see, I renamed it with the skyline.
Okay.
Masjid Mubarak.
Okay. So for somebody picking the book up, would they be able to figure that out inside the book, or they just gotta?
They're not.
It's just.
I wrote this book with being selfish, bro. I was just like, yo, bro, I'm writing something for the Muslim people, for the Black Muslim culture.
Hey, I like it.
And I think what it's going to do is that people who don't understand certain moments of the book, it'll give them a chance to go and do a little bit of research about the Islamic faith, about being black and Muslim.
Right.
And they'll learn really quick.
Right.
So,
what is this bakery called that's in the background?
Bilal's Bakery.
Okay, what's the importance behind that?
So, one of the main characters named Amir, his dad owns that bakery. Right? Okay. So, Bilal Bakery, it's their hangout spot. So, when these two kids are not skateboarding or in school, they go and hang out at Bilal's Bakery. And his dad is known for making bean pies. So that's one of Amir's chores. So he try to stay out of the kitchen at the bakery, but that's their hangout spot.
Okay. Yeah. Julius Davis Library. Now Julia Davis sounds like a name I should know.
Julia Davis is a world-renowned name in St. Louis.
Okay.
So
what is
not to give away too much, but where they grow up at in the city of St. Louis is a known neighborhood called the Ville. Okay. Which actually has the high school they go. So I'm giving away a lot right now, but
don't give away too much. I just want to know what's the like why is it there?
So that's an actual library in the city of St. Louis.
Okay.
And she's known for us being a great pillar in the community of St. Louis. Okay. And she comes from a neighborhood called the Ville, and that's where these two kids grew up at. They grew up in the Ville neighborhood. And I thought it was a great point to where we talk about STEM a lot in the book. You know, science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
Okay.
These two kids are known for being STEM students. And so a lot of their research that they do, that they get from the library. So if they're not at Bilal's Bakery, if they're not skateboarding, if they're not playing hip hop, they're at the library.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
Okay. Well, man, I can't wait till it comes out.
Yeah.
You said fourth quarter or top of 2023.
Yes.
I think top of 23. I think either around the holidays. Me personally, I'm just throwing my 2 cents in there.
Yeah.
I think around the holidays or right at the top of the year would be best time to drop it.
Yeah, man. I know I'm gonna do a whole lot better with the marketing. The last book, I was selfish with it. I was just like, whoever buys it.
Right.
It's hard to like really self-promote myself.
Right.
I'm just a humble person. I'm a humble soul who just write books and just all about the people. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go hard in the paint with this book. I got some great advertising going that's in the works that I don't want to put out too early.
Right.
But it's gonna come, man. And I got a chess plan how I'm playing this one out. So
well, man, I know it's gonna be successful.
Yes.
You know, second self-published book is on the way.
Second book, bro. Third one will be coming right after.
Boom. I like it, man. Martin Jabbar Ali.
Yes, sir, man.
I appreciate the time.
Yeah.
Until next time, is there anything you want to plug?
Bro, nothing to plug, man. I want to give you your flowers, bro. Your due diligence, bro. You've been trying to reach out to me to do the second interview for months now. I feel like since almost the last fall-ish. We've been talking about doing a second, go around. But not only that, bro, I see your faithfulness in this, man. I see your dedication and your motivation and your ways to make it better. You're not trying to plateau the platform. You're trying to grow the platform. So the people you have on have a variety of talents, bro. And you're seeing it. And you're having a great way to ask the right questions to highlight what that person got going on, man. So I'm giving you your flowers, bro. If you look and see the likes on there, man, on the YouTube page, that's me always liking.
My man.
I'm always watching, giving you views, and I can't wait to see the platform grow and just, be some out of this world.
My man.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate the love.
No doubt, bro. No doubt.
My man. Martin Jabbar Ali, VCTV.
Yes.
Signing out till next time.
Peace.